Copyright disclaimer: under the Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
And Customs Enforcement is expected to increase the number of immigrants fitted with GPS-equipped ankle monitors. The directive, first reported by the Washington Post Thursday, comes as the Trump administration ramps up surveillance of non-detained migrants. In the memo, ICE directs staff to fit people in the agency's Alternatives to Detention program with ankle monitors whenever possible. Around 183,000 adult migrants are enrolled in ATD, consenting to some form of tracking or mandated check-in while their cases are pending. But currently, only 24,000 of them reportedly wear ankle monitors. The new directive marks a significant expansion of the 20-year-old surveillance program. While critics acknowledge the devices are more humane than detention centers, they argue the 6-ounce monitors are uncomfortable, stigmatizing, and invasive. Some legal experts claim the practice turns people's homes into digital cages. They also note federal data by the American Immigration Council shows the vast majority of non-detained migrants with resolved or pending deportation cases attended all their court cases from 2008 to 2018. An ICE spokesperson declined to comment on the memo, but acknowledged the agency uses ankle monitors as an enforcement tool, adding, ICE still makes determinations on a case-by-case basis. The increase in the number of ankle monitors worn is likely to direct more business toward GEO Group, a Florida-based private prison corporation that employed at least 2 of President Donald Trump's top immigration officials in the past, including Tom Homan, who received consulting fees from the firm's immigration monitoring sector. A White House spokesperson stresses Homan recuses himself from all negotiations on government contracts. The company also gave $1.5 million to Donald Trump's 2024 campaign and inauguration fund, and is ICE's largest contractor. The agency's surveillance program is run entirely by BI Incorporated, a subsidiary of GEO. BI has reportedly been plagued by a lack of a case manager, as well as old and faulty equipment. ICE is requesting GEO employ more subcontractors to bulk up surveillance efforts. Only a fraction of immigrants with pending cases are enrolled in ATD currently, which requires they wear a monitoring device or virtually check in through an app, as well as meeting case managers in their home or BI office. Those enrolled reached their highest number at 378,000 under the Biden administration as border crossings spiked, but numbers have since declined. However, since January, the Trump administration has added more than 4,100 enrollees with ankle monitors. For more on this story, download the Straight Air.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach Quadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the elders of Great Millstone who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim who pushing his gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon all your houses. This is Brother Quanah Watts from the Arizona Great Millstone Camp. Come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. And as you had seen in that video, man, ICE, right, is wanting to put ankle monitors on these migrants, man. As you see in this article, it says ICE aims to expand the number of migrants tracked with ankle monitors, right? And I want to read a little bit, on, this article right here, which is where I got that video from. But it does have a little bit more information right outside of that video, right? It says critics argue the ankle monitors are inhumane and unfair, right? It says the new directive marks a significant expansion of the 2-decade-old surveillance program. While some critics acknowledge that the devices are more humane than detention centers, they argue the 6-ounce monitors are uncomfortable, stigmatizing, and invasive. This tool, and I quote, right, this will be a tool used to extend the reach of the government, right? Because again, right, we understand the Esau Edom, right? He wants full control over everything, right? They actually, over in the UK, right, as well as other, countries, right, Belgium, Netherlands, France, they actually are implementing something called, a carbon passport, right? Which I think I have something like that. Yeah, right here. This is on travelandtourworld.com. It says now UK joins France, Belgium, and the Netherlands in introducing carbon passport system to limit air travel and reduce emissions. Right, all these different laws and policies that are being put in place, right, are ultimately to be able to give Esau, right, that full control that he wants, right? Because we understand, right, according to the scriptures, Esau wants to be the Most High, right? We'll go back to this one, but I do want to grab this precept right here in 2 Thessalonians, right, chapter 2 and verse 4. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Esau truly believes that he, is the Most High, or he can set himself up as the Most High, right? You had Yuval Noah Harari as well as Klaus Schwab, right, basically making statements today, oh, we don't need God no more. We don't need God, right? We are the gods of the earth, as they said, right, verbatim, that came out their mouth, man. So again, right, we're seeing him, basically put legislation right in place and introducing different systems and whatnot, which will allow, for him to, do just that. Let's go back to this article, right? It says there will be a tool used to extend the reach of the government. It says from just the folks it can manage to put in physical detention to an additional hundreds of thousands more that it can survey. Right, so they want to be able to, again, and then we see that they're even the Pentagon, right, the Department of Defense, right, they're adding in AI into their systems, man, which will basically do a lot of the heavy lifting or that work for them, right, as far as being able to survey and determine whether somebody is a criminal or going to be a criminal or so on and so forth, man. This is what they're doing, right? They want to be able to, again, that full control, right? It says Laura Rivera, a senior staff attorney at Just Future, a nonprofit organization that has performed studies on ICE tracking technologies, told the Post, it's designed to turn their own communities and homes into digital cages, man. And there was a video a while back, man, and it was an animation, of this dystopia. I can't remember the name of it, man. I know brothers. You know what I'm talking about, man. It was basically an animation on YouTube where this dude was basically stuck inside of his apartment, if you will, and he could only go outside for so long and, wave to the people. He wasn't allowed to leave. He wasn't allowed to, he got so many credits, right? And then he just watched that money just dwindle away. Because again, hey, you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that, you got to pay for this. A dystopia, man, a straight up dystopia, and this is what Esau Edom is trying to set up, right? A straight up dystopia, right? Which, when you go into that word dystopia, it ultimately goes back to the word bad, right? In the etymology, or abnormal. This is what Esau is trying to do, man. He's trying to basically make himself a perpetual ruler over you people, man, and put you people right in cages. Right? Put you and box you people in. This is why he's got these 15-minute cities. Basically, with these 15-minute cities, right? When Esau, ultimately, gets it up and running the way he wants it ran, and you're not allowed to go right past 15 minutes from your home, right? He wants it to where you have everything, right? Your job, your basic necessities and entertainment and whatnot, all within 15 minutes, of your home. Right, whether it be walking, biking, he wants to confine you people, man. And this is what we're seeing him ultimately start to do, right? Start to confine people, right? With the carbon passport. Right now, he's gonna allot you certain carbon credits, And once you run out of those credits, hey, you're not allowed to do anything else, man. You know, so we see what's going on, man. We see what Esau is establishing. 2 Corinthians 2:11, right? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, evil schemes, and evil plots. We understand what's going on, man. Esau wants to pass it off as something good. Hey, you know, we're gonna help the the planet, right? With these, carbon, help reduce the carbon footprint, right? But basically giving people an allotment, an allowance, right, of carbon credits that they can use, right? Which will equal what? To less traveling, less, carbon emissions and whatnot. Having you people think that it's a good thing, but in reality, right, all he's doing is deceiving you people, man. He's deceiving you people because all he's doing is establishing his NWO, right, where he has a full grip, a full control over you people in your lives, which again, right, this is just a step in that direction, right, of the mandatory implementation of the RFID micro seal, which is the mark of the beast, which we're going to grab. I want to read a little bit more on this, right? It says ICE response. It says ICE spokesperson Emily Covington declined to comment on the memo, but acknowledged the agency is using ankle monitors as an enforcement tool to ensure compliance with federal law. She emphasized that more accountability shouldn't come as a surprise. Covington added that ICE still makes determinations based on each individual case, and officials still maintain discretion to decide which immigrants are required to wear monitors, right? But that's going to come to an end. Eventually, they're going to say all of them, right? You had RFK Jr. basically say, hey, right, they need all of Americans, right, to wear a wearable device so that they can track people's health, man. Right? All the people. That's what he was saying, right? All the people, right? So it might be right now some migrants, but they're going to say all migrants. It says ICE mandates the most unauthorized immigrants attend court hearings or check in from time to time at field offices while their cases are resolved. The frequency of checking in is based on a variety of factors, including criminal history. It says maybe they've taken these drastic steps because many people don't show up to court or change addresses without reporting. And see, they started doing this deportation, right? This mass deportation, and they've been hemming them up at the courts, right? So Esau basically created, this chaos, so he can sit there and be like, hey, nobody's coming to courts now. They're snatching people up at courts. People don't want to leave, so they don't go to their court cases because they know what's coming and what's waiting for them. And then they sit there and be like, oh, okay, now nobody's showing up to court. Okay, cool. So now we have to, issue out these ankle monitors and tracking systems. And that's what Esau does, right? Order ab chaos, order out of chaos, right? We're seeing it happen and take place right now. And how much more when it really gets to the point where he's about to sit there and say, no, everyone has to take the mark of the beast, which is the RFID micro C-hip, right? These are just steps in that direction because this is what's coming, right? The mandatory implementation of the RFID micro C-hip, man. It says maybe they've taken these drastic steps because many people don't show up to their court or change addresses without reporting. Paola, a mother of two who fled Honduras, told the Post, but some of us do everything right and still get treated the same because Esau don't matter, right? It's all about pushing his NWO, man. And Esau's grip is going to get more and more tighter as the days go by. That's all I want to grab on now. I want to grab this right here in Revelations. Let's grab me the blue letter. Revelations chapter 13 and verse 16, because again, it's about him having control over the masses, right? And getting the people to bow down to him being a perpetual ruler over them. And he's going to do it, right, by way of what? This RFID micro C-hip, man, right? Because all of these different devices, man, right? The little, those little ankle monitors, those got an RFID chip in them, man. Just like our phones do, just like the wristbands that they were putting on these migrants when they were apprehending them, right? Basically putting, an ankle monitor, but on the wrist, on the migrants when they were detaining them, man. Scanning their faces, so on and so forth, man. This is We're in that time, right, where this prophecy is going to come to pass. Revelations 13 and verse 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? Again, that's going into that rice grain, right? A rice grain, the little small little device, right? As well as the brains he hit, right? Neuralink, right? Elon Musk, right, is already at these Florida hospitals, right? Working with them to put them, in different patients, man, disabled patients and whatnot, and having them to where they can now use a computer, having it to where they can walk again, so on and so forth, which is those miracles, right, that are being done, right? But it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to participate in society unless you have, right, the charagma. Right, just like you're not going to be you're not going to be able to be in America, right, unless you have some type of ankle monitor or you consent to that, right? They're going to say no, we're going to deport you, or you can take this, this ankle monitor, so that way we can track where you are, make sure you're going to your court cases and so on and so forth. This is where things are heading, right, leading to that ultimatum. Right, it's either you get deported, right, or you're gonna have to take this ankle monitor, right? Again, a prelude to what's coming is you're gonna have to take this C-hip, or you're gonna be, put to death, right? Because as we jump up to verse 15, it says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." Right? Let's go into that word "killed." Right? It says Strong's G 615, apokteno, right? Apokteno, I mean to kill in any way whatsoever. Meaning Esau, has many different ways, man. He's the wicked, man. Esau will starve you out. Esau will torture you. He'll shoot you. There's many different ways this damn devil will, ultimately kill you, man. Right? But we know that he, ultimately showed that. Right, going back to the the shutdown, the lockdown, right, the Crown Vic Royale. Right, when that whole situation happened, what did he do? He separated people, man. Oh, you don't have the green pass, or you don't have the jab passport. Hey, well, guess what? Now you can't participate in society, which goes back, right, to the root word, right, apo, which means a separation, of local separation, right. It says physical, a state of separation that is of distance, right? A physical of distance of place, right? So you literally had it where you got 6 feet, which goes back to that wicked vibration, right? 666, which Trump ultimately just said that, recently in a video, man, talking about 6 months and another 6 and another 6 and another 6, right? That's that wicked vibration, man, that they putting out there, But again, right, it started with them, right, separating people physically, right? Oh, you don't have it, then you can't participate. But now, again, the time that we're coming into, if you don't have this, hey, well, you're most likely going to be actually put to death, man. They got them taking the migrants, right? And they're finding bodies of migrants being shackled up on the shores of these different countries, man. Right? Because they're throwing them out of these cargo planes, throwing them out the back of these cargo planes, and they're finding these bodies all over the place, man. So they're literally, if you don't participate or you're not with society, they're gonna literally kill you, man. I was watching a brother's lesson. It's Salaki. I don't remember the brother's name, but it's GMS White Stone, and he did a lesson this morning going in on the same thing, right? The shackling and whatnot, and he made a beautiful point, that damn. Which, go subscribe to that, that brother's page, GMS White Stone. It's like it, man. As soon as I started thinking about it, it kind of just escaped me, man. Lord will come back, but yeah, man. it started, gradualism. Thought about Shemel Shot, right? Gradualism. Brother brought out a point speaking about gradualism, right? Esau does things in stages, which again, first we saw him do what? Separate the people by physical distance, right? But then soon now it's going to come to the point where you're actually being killed, right? Because you don't want to consent unto his, system. And, and Brother Better, another beautiful point, it even made, talks about, right? You have a lot of people already consenting, right, to being, tracked and traced and whatnot. A lot of migrants are already consenting to it, man. Right? And you're going to have that. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to consent to, this this system that Esau's setting up, man. Right? Which is nothing new. Right? It's nothing new. Right? Let's go back. And I want to grab this in First Maccabees. I think it's 1 and 40 something. Right here, it says, verse 41, First Maccabees 1 and 41, it says, moreover, King Antiochus, which was an Edomite, a Greek, right? It says, wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, right? It's going back to that one world government, that one world religion, that one world currency, right? This NWO that Esau's trying to establish now it's nothing new, right? Going back to the Tower of Babel, going back to, as we're reading in First Maccabees, right? This is something that they've been trying to do, right, countless times throughout history. So this is nothing new, man, right? But it says right here, it says that everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed to the commandment of the king. It says, yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. So you have a lot of Israelites, right, that are going to, consent unto this, this system, man, but not knowing, right, that Esau Edom, right, first and foremost has a perpetual hatred for the Israelites. And that he does not see the Israelites in his in the future, right? Going back to the Georgia Guidestones, man, right? He wants the whole world population at 500 million. Well, Israel's numbered as the sands of the sea, man. So we, in a sense, right, we're the largest nation upon the face of the earth, right? Because we're scattered into all nations, man. We're scattered into all nations, and Jake breed like rabbits, man. So we're the largest nation, right, upon the face of the earth, man. So who do you think he's going to take out the most? Who is he going to come after the most? He's going to come after you Israelites, man. And as it says right here, and that was the point I wanted to grab on that, right? It says in 2 Esdras 16 and verse 68, it says, for behold, right? For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idol, right? Again, right, Esau coming in, hemming you up, and basically, right, putting you in the position, right, where you're gonna need to take their system, and they're gonna bribe you, right? They're gonna try to take things away from you, and say, hey, you got to take this C-hip in order for you to, in order for you to stay alive, in order for you to, continue to have the things that you do. And again, Jake gonna do it. But what does it say right here, verse 69? And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and a reproach and trodden underfoot. Right? Meaning you're gonna be mocked. You're gonna be laughed at. Because at the end of the day, Esau's still gonna kill you, man. Esau's still gonna kill you. And shit, it's even worse than that, right? Esau might, even if Esau don't kill you, hey, the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah is gonna get you, man. Right? Pursuing the Revelations, the 14th chapter, starting at the 9th verse. Yahweh Shemel Shah is gonna get your ass if you take this Karagma, man. You take this RFID micro C-hip, the Lord gonna kill your ass for sure. There's no repenting from taking this Karagma, man. There's no repenting from taking the RFID micro C-hip, man. If you think that you can, and show me a scripture in the Bible that says that you can repent from taking the Karagma. You're not gonna find one, man. You take this Karagma, your ass is dead, man. And we see where things are going, man. Soon Esau's gonna make it mandatory. We can't wait. We can't wait. But I'm gonna grab this since I talked about it. Revelations 14 and verse 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right? Don't matter where you take it, right? You take it. You might not say, you know what, let me just put it in my hand. Don't put it inside my hand. Just put it in my hand. You took it, man. That's period point blank. You took it. You know, you could tape it to the back of your hand like that one dude, man. He had that chip. I can't remember his fucking name. I think that was Comfy, if I'm not mistaken. Right? He had that shit, you know, taped to the back of his hand. Was mocking the actual, the MOTB, right? Mocking the breakdown. But see, now it's all coming to pass. You know? And where is that dude, man? He gone. He back in the spiritual realm, man. You know? It says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Meaning you're going to be destroyed, man. You're going to have an ICBM nuclear missile that has your name on it, man. And you're going to be destroyed. You know? Yeah, Esau, might mock and scoff, and Esau might even take your life, man. You know, but hey, let's say the Lord has it to where Esau doesn't. Hey, you're going to get it worse from Yahweh Shemel Shah than Esau could ever do to you, man. You know, so you would want to get it from Esau. You would want to get it from Esau, man. But hey, the Lord going to get you either way, man. The Lord can use Esau to bring judgment upon you, which Esau is the sword of the Lord, pursuant to Psalm 17 and verse 13. You know? And he could just tortured for days, weeks. You know? But it's ultimately righteous judgment, man. You know, so as we see, right, Esau, setting up, his NWO, his system, right? Continue to, be vigilant, continue to pray, right? Keep the faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? Continue to watch. Again, most importantly, I'm going to say it again, continue to pray. You know, we in some heavy times, man. Esau moving quick, right? It's like every day you see something, man. Every day something new is coming out, you know? And, Salakia wasn't able to get into that, that carbon, passport a little bit more. Maybe Lord will, I'll be able to, touch on that a little bit. Probably in the next, MOTB, update, man. But hey, shit moving, man. For real, man. Keep, stay on your P's and Q's. Right? Continue to stay in the spirit as much as possible. I say this to myself first and foremost, man. But with that, Lord will is edifying. Lord will, straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh. To Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, double honors to the elder apostles, as the bishops, the great millstone. Till next time, I say shalom.